Oh,
Good
that was
afternoon,
nice.
Facebook.
Facebook got live just as I was yawning. Sorry. Apologize for that, Facebook.
Everybody, Jen does not feel well today.
No.
So
No. That flu or cold or whatever in the world is going around, like, I felt perfectly fine. And then last night I had a little bit of a tickle in my throat, so I coughed a couple of times. I don't know, maybe like a dozen total. And then woke up this morning, nah. Just no. It's all bad. All bad. But I'm here.
Yay! Yay for being here. So today we're going to talk about a couple of apps to use to help streamline your accounting process, to help streamline your bookkeeping so that it's not such a burden on everybody. I know a lot of people, the challenge with bookkeeping, it's sort of like, so my husband paints. He does residential painting for a living. And the argument that he hears all the time is like, oh, well, anybody can paint. Like, yeah, anybody can paint, but it takes talent to make it look good, right?
And to do it in a decent amount of time. Have you ever tried to paint a room in your house? Oh my goodness, painting a room in my house takes me 3 days. It takes her husband an hour and a half.
Yeah. So
ridiculous.
You have to, again, we've said this before, the right professional for the right job. I know a lot of people do their own bookkeeping. They're like, oh yeah, no big deal. I don't need any help with that. I do it myself. It's, I handle it. It's okay. And then almost every person that I speak to is ripping their hair out, stressed out, because when tax time comes around, they're like, oh my God, now I have to go and do a whole year's worth of accounting at once so that I can hand it over to my accountant to do my taxes. So
either that, or I will just tell you that even though you're doing it yourself, even if you're like, oh yeah, this is cool, whatever, like Heather mentioned in some of the other videos, do you know that you're asking the right questions of your accountant, CPA, EA, etc. at the end of the year? And do you pay $16,000 in taxes every year? And realistically, you ought to be paying $8,000 in taxes. These are the types of things that you may or may not know because you're doing your own books, and that's not, it's not what you were trained to do.
Yeah. Well, and the other option is that CPA offices often offer to do your bookkeeping for you. You can go and you can hand them that shoebox full of receipts, or you can hand them the grocery bags full of receipts. They will charge you their hourly rate, which typically runs in the $200+ an hour, in order for them to go through and categorize all the stuff for yourself. I know people who have gotten, a tax bill, but then a $5,000 bill from their CPA as well. So there are some apps and things that you can use that will help you streamline the process if you want to do it yourself. We're also offering Bookkeeping Like a Boss on February 24th, which is next Saturday from 9 to 4. And in that full day seminar, what we're going to go over is some ways to make it easy on yourself so that you can get the information you need if you're going to do it yourself, so that you can get all of the information you need as quickly as possible with as little pain as possible, with no math, because software programs will do it for you. You don't have to know how to do accounting, and you don't have to do math in order to keep track of your own books.
And a lot of these apps and things that Heather is talking about, even if you do hire out a bookkeeper or hire out an accountant or hire out somebody like Heather who, does sort of the overview of what's going on with your finances and all of that. If you use some of these apps, then it will streamline the process for them too. So it'll make it easier on them. If they do charge you hourly, Heather charges on a flat fee, but a lot of places charge hourly for that. And most bookkeepers, accountants, etc., they charge an hourly fee for most things. If you can streamline some of your stuff by using these apps, and they can pull the reports and pull the data out of the apps instead of having to go through that shoebox or that bag or that whatever full of receipts, then guess what? Lower bill, because less stuff for them to go through.
Well, and if you guys have ever had that thermal paper that comes on most receipts, those fade sometimes in as little as 3 to 6 months. So
sometimes more quickly than that. If you put it in the wrong place, like that sucker could be gone. How many of you have gone and been like, oh, I have the receipt for that, I'm totally going to go return it. And then, so you're within like the 30 days. And then you go and you look at it and you're like, oh, can't read this anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but I can't read it. It happens all the time.
Yeah. So the IRS has accepted electronic receipts since 1999. I would tell you, I have the actual notice written down somewhere, but really, do you want to go and read the IRS's letter about this? I promise that the IRS issued a statement, issued a decision in 1999 saying that electronic receipts were acceptable for proving whether or not you had incurred a certain expense for an audit, for audit purposes. I will warn you that as of 2016, I had a client that had a correspondence audit. Correspondence audit just means that the IRS sends you a letter, you send them a bunch of paper. That's what a correspondence audit is. They don't come in your house and dig through your stuff, or your business and dig through your stuff. As of 2016, I believe it was, they still had no way to accept electronic receipts. So should you have to turn in all of your stuff to the IRS, you will have to print it out and mail it to them, because they have not apparently caught up with the rest of us with the drop boxes and the stuff. But they'll get there eventually, probably.
And the answer still is you can put it into a Dropbox or just, have an external hard drive with a bunch of pictures or whatever in the heck it is, and you can print those and they're acceptable.
Right.
And then if you end up audited, which is very rare. It's very rare. I know we all freak out about it, but it's really rare.
It's very rare. Think about the number of IRS agents there are versus the number of people there are in the United States. It's not like they have the manpower to audit every man, woman, and child. So.
Okay. We totally digressed, and we apologize for that. We're supposed to talk about apps that they can use to streamline, and we've already been at this for like 8 minutes.
But it's relevant. I promise it's relevant. So the first app I'm going to talk about is one that helps you gather and categorize those receipts. Okay. So you don't have to keep them anymore. In fact, they say right on their app, do a smart scan of the receipt and burn it. So
okay,
literally as soon as you have a copy of that receipt, that is the language from the IRS is something that's materially the same as, I hate that word, as the original. So if you take a picture, that's obviously the same as the original, right? So it's an app called Expensify. Hold on a second, because I took some screenshots while I was playing around in the app earlier today.
Now she's getting fancy on us, people. Fancy, I tell you.
So the Expensify app allows you a couple of different options. If you're just collecting receipts as an accountant or a manager in a business, like if you have multiple people in your business that need to submit receipts to you, great. They can do it through Expensify. They take a picture, it sends it to you automatically. Then you can have it in an electronic form. No trying to figure out what this receipt says 3 months after somebody's had it crumpled up in their car, on the floor of their car for a couple of months.
That has never happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't speak from experience.
No.
So you can also track your personal expenses. If all you want to do is track your personal expenses, great. You can do that too. The great thing about Expensify is that it will sync automatically with your accounting program. So it syncs automatically with QuickBooks Online. It syncs automatically with Xero. It syncs with a program called NetSuite, which is usually for larger companies. So probably nobody uses that one, but the QuickBooks Online and Xero is becoming very popular. Those two very common software programs that everybody uses. It syncs automatically. So when you put it into Expensify, you don't then have to go and put it into QuickBooks. It automatically takes all of your receipts, takes all of the copies of your receipts, and moves them over to QuickBooks. It allows you to categorize them on the fly. You can put who you're with, you can put what it was for. Like I said, you just take a quick snap of it, and then it tries to categorize for you. And just like QuickBooks, it's a learning app. So over time, it will learn what your habits are with certain types of things. It does what's called a smart scan. So you don't have to type in all of the work anymore. The smart scan will actually do the data entry for you inside of the app. And then the other part about it is if you get email receipts, because again, for audit purposes, email receipts, you need those too, right? And most of us just use our email as a filing system, which is a terrible idea. So if you forward your emails, the email receipts you get to the Expensify app, it will categorize them just like everything else. So it takes care of the physical receipts, the ones you get when you go out to a restaurant to eat, or the ones you get when you
go to the grocery store and buy stuff for an upcoming event, or
right, exactly. Or you pay for parking, or you have to rent a hotel room and they give you that printout. Just snap a picture and you're done with it. You don't have to carry it with you anywhere. So it's really great for doing things quickly and easily. If you are like me, there's also the ability to give your accountant access to it as a, what do they call it? Co-pilot is what they call it, I believe. Hold on a second. I'm the co-pilot for a client of mine. So let me just make sure that that's the, yeah. So there's co-pilot access, which means that you can give somebody else access to look at your expenses. So again, a bookkeeper or an accountant or a CPA, you just say, hey, great, you want to find that receipt? Here's access to my Expensify account. Go find what you need. It's got great search tools. It's got great reporting tools. Even if you're just doing it yourself and you don't have QuickBooks, the reports alone will save you tons of time during tax season, because you will run a report for all the expenses in a category to hand over to your CPA. Period. You're done.
Cool.
Right. So that's one. So that's for expenses. The other one that I recommend all the time is a mileage app, because that's the other thing that CPAs ask for all the time and nobody knows. They're like, I have no idea. I have no. So in a perfect world, we would all on January 1st, on January 1st, before you have driven anywhere for the day, you will go and you will get your mileage from your car. And inside of your car, you will have this logbook, little tiny notebook that every time you drive somewhere, you will make a record of where you go and how far it was and what the purpose of it was and all of that, all of your business.
And that never happens.
And then on December 31st, at the end of the year, you would take your ending mileage. And so then you would decide, you would calculate, and remember, I'm promising no math. You would calculate how many miles, total miles you drove during the year. And then you would go through your notebook and you'd add up all the numbers and you'd figure out how many of those miles were your business miles. And then after that, then your CPA would decide whether or not you were going to take the standard deduction or the mileage deduction. Sounds like a lot of steps and a lot of hard work.
Fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like no fun at all.
Yeah. So there's an app called, not Expensify. There's an app called Mile IQ for free, absolutely free. You get 40 drives a month. Now, every time you get in the car and go somewhere and stop, Mile IQ counts that as a drive. So like for me, I drop my son off at school every day and I bring him home every day. So that's 2 drives a day, every day. So I would be at 60 drives already. So for it to be effective, you really, for this app especially, you really do have to pay for it. I believe Expensify also has a paid option. I just don't know specifically how much it is. I believe it was about the same, about $8 a month or something like that. So for Expensify, if you pay annually, it's $60. It's $59.99 per year.
For Expensify or for Mile IQ?
For Mile IQ.
Okay,
sorry.
because you just said Expensify, so
I'm
we have.
sure I did, because I do that. So for my brain says one thing and then my mouth says another. It's the weirdest thing.
Mm-hmm.
For Mile IQ, for $59.99 a year, you can do unlimited drives. Unlimited, as many as you want. So if you're somebody that does sales or you travel a lot for your job, I have a client that travels probably like 3 times the number of annual mileage. So I think 12,000 to 15,000 is regular. They do somewhere between 36,000 and 45,000 every year. So they drive a lot. But for $59.99 a year,
that works out to $5 a month for those of you who don't want to do math.
It will track all of your drives for you, or you can pay as you go, and it's $5.99. So they charge you an extra $1 a month if you don't want to pay for it all up front, but you get a 20% discount if you pay for it all up front.
See, now she's doing math.
I didn't do any math. They told me that in the app. So there.
Okay.
So the thing about Mile IQ is they make it super, super duper simple. So this is not one of the, okay, so this is a swiping app, but it's not that swiping app.
Ooh, you got to swipe right, swipe left.
Yes, you do have to swipe right and swipe left, but if people see you doing it, you can show them. It's like, no, this is my mile tracking app. I swear.
It's totally, it's definitely, I don't know if I could say the word, but it's your beard. If you guys know what that means, My Like You is now your other app, Beard.
Yeah. So you swipe right for business. And then you swipe left if it's a personal drive. So again, most of us use our vehicles for more than just business, right? Otherwise it'd be easy. You check your mileage on the first of the year, you check your mileage on the end of the year, you're like, yeah, all these miles are business miles. So it's swipe.
The IRS won't let you get away with that though, by the way.
No.
They're like, no. If you get audited and you counted your miles, they're gonna want to know where you went. So yeah, even if you're like, oh, I only use my car for business. No.
Yeah. So I didn't see that MileIQ has an integration with QuickBooks, but you really don't need it. Really, all you need from MileIQ is for it to track your drives all year long, and then print out a report at the end of the year, give that to your CPA. Great. Here's all the miles I drove. It's been tracked. So, and MileIQ works in the background with your GPS in your phone, so you don't have to do anything. When you get in your car and you go somewhere, it knows that you got in your car and went somewhere, and it tells you how far you went based on your GPS. So if you swipe right for business, when you swipe right for business, it gives stories, which you can modify if need be for whatever is specific to your business. And so when you swipe right, you choose what the category is for that particular drive. You can add in notes if you want, who you're going to see, all of that kind of stuff. And then it stores it. And same for the personal. You can swipe left for personal, and it also gives you the ability to categorize if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just swipe right for all, or I'm sorry, swipe left for all of your personal, and then everything just goes into personal. If you don't care, some people track medical mileage because medical mileage, going back and forth to medical appointments, can be personally deductible, whereas business miles are obviously deductible on your business tax return, the personal mileage, the medical mileage. And if you're driving personally to donate your time or donate items, so charity and medical mileage are personally deductible on your taxes. So again, if that's something that you wanted to track, MileIQ gives you the option to do that. So $60 a year will help take away all of that anxiety about the mileage. It, again, just like Expensify, even if you don't integrate with the QuickBooks, I'm not sure MileIQ does. I don't think it's necessary. But just like Expensify, there is a report that gets printed out at the end of the year that you can just hand over to your CPA and be like, here's all the mileage I did this year. Here's all the expenses I did this year. And it will categorize everything for them, make it all easy peasy lemon squeezy. So
I know that she has more. I know that she has more apps.
But we're running out of time for today. It's getting late. So
here's the deal. If you come to Bookkeeping Like a Boss, she's going to give you more apps that you can use, that you can integrate. So I'm going to tell you that you should come to Bookkeeping Like a Boss. It is a week from tomorrow. It is in Lafayette, and it is all day long. It's from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and we feed you lunch, and we give you snacks. I just bought an obscene amount of chocolate today, so I
have some too.
Yeah. And my mom bought some for us too, because we were like, hey mom, while you're out shopping around for other stuff, can you take a look for candy? And she's like, sure. So I literally spent $50 on chocolate today, and that's with it on 50% off. So yeah, there's an obscene amount of chocolate available for you. There are goodie bags with stuff other than chocolate in it. And then there's lunch provided and coffee and tea and all that good stuff. And then you get to come hang out with me and Heather, and I promise that I won't be sick by then. So it'll be okay. Heather is going to give you the answer to the scavenger hunt from earlier this week and a little bit of last week. So if you listen really closely, she's going to give you the answer. If you comment on any of the videos with the answer that she's about to give you, we will PM you, we will private message you a discount code that brings the cost down to $47. That is incredible when you think about the fact that we're going to feed you and take care of refreshments and all of that stuff all day long. You will have snacks, you will have goodies, you will have gift bags, you will have stuff. And Heather is going to save you a ton of money just in the little bits and pieces of knowledge that she's going to give you. So
the word that she was going to say, that's the technical term, by the way.
Yeah. So you guys should come. We'll post the link in the comments, and yeah, you should come. And Heather's going to give you the answers right now so that you can just type it down real quick.
So if you don't want to go back and watch all of the videos about all of the different financial rules, I don't know why. I mean, it's
they're super exciting.
Super exciting and interesting. I know Jen was like, you know.
I only fell asleep during like 2 of them. Leave it alone. Exactly.
So I did all the hard work for you. So get ready to copy, as one of my old bosses used to say. Let me see, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, magic number 7. So if you don't have 7 in the comments, you're missing one. So accountant, EA, or enrolled agent, we will accept either answer.
Go for the short answer, people.
CPA or certified public accountant.
Short answers.
CMA or certified management accountant. CFP or certified financial planner. Bookkeeper, and CFO or chief financial officer.
You saved that one for last because that's her.
So those are the 7 answers to the scavenger hunt. If you comment on any of the videos that we've posted,
we're just on our pages, anywhere. Just put it somewhere.
Or PM us with the answer, and then we'll PM you back with the discount code.
There you go.
The discount code will bring the cost down to $47, even if we are outside of the early bird pricing. So if at any time you comment with the 7 answers, we will send you a discount code to bring the cost down to $47 for the day. Like we said, it's next week on the 24th in Lafayette. Anything else?
No. And just remember, even if you can't come for the whole day, there's so much value that if you can only come for part of the day, still recommend it. And then I guess next week, you guys are back to stuck to listening to me, because we're going to be getting close to negotiate like a lady. So next week, I'm going to come on. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but we're going to talk about negotiation, something or other. We're going to talk about something having to do with negotiate like a lady. So that is going to be next week. And negotiate like a lady, if you guys are interested in that, is March 3rd. And that is going to be in San Francisco. And I will have Heather post the link for that as well. And I just updated the Eventbrite to bring, that has some super awesome pricing available on it. But the super discount early bird pricing is only available through Saturday. So hop on it if you want to get in there. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, we will see everybody on Monday. Thanks for spending time with us again, and have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.